And now to present this year's National Leadership Award, please help me welcome to the stage General Dean.
Before I present the award, I think we should do a couple things. Kristen Stewart, who sung those two wonderful songs for us, we should give him another round of applause. Please do that. And our NYLI youth that gave us a lesson on leadership, we should applaud them again as well. Please do that. So annually, we at CADCA, working with our board of directors, recognize a distinguished leader that is having a national impact in the area of substance abuse, particularly as it relates to our field. It was very easy for us to make the selection this year. We've been working with this person for many of years, and you have seen her at these events, our National Leadership Conference, speaking to us primarily on Capitol Hill Day. We spent time with her on Capitol Hill, helping to forge policy. I personally have testified before her in Congress as she was sorting out issues related to substance abuse with a particular emphasis on prescription drug abuse. She has forged legislation that will help this country work on these issues, not just around the issue relating to the abuse of, but also causing manufacturers to produce medications that are tamper resistant so they will be less easy for people to abuse. Lots of initiatives. So when we asked the board and indicated that we were considering, at that time, Congresswoman Mary Bono Mack, it was a unanimous decision that we should recognize her in this fashion. So it gives us great pleasure to present and to recognize for our 2013 National Leadership Award winner, Congresswoman Mary Bono Mack. Please come forward. You don't want it?
Be gentle. Thank you, General. I'm glad you're going to hold that piece of glass for me while I'm not doing it with this cast and dropping it on my foot and ending up more uncoordinated than I already was. Just to answer the question, snowboarding. Does anybody out there snowboard? Does anybody ski? I think that's a better choice if you want to know the truth. And I have prepared remarks, but my right hand is entirely useless right now, so I might just throw these out. I hope that's all right with you guys. Thank you. I think that was Frank, my chief of staff, who wrote these remarks. I just wanted to thank you so much for this award and tell you how greatly honored I am that you would select me to receive it. But before I kind of go into that a little bit more, I want to thank Director Kurlikowski for putting me together with CADCA. I don't know if you know this, but don't tell anybody. This past November, I lost a re-election, and you know, I kind of went into a funk for a few days. I don't know, 3 or 4 days. It's kind of like the death of a family member. And I woke up one morning and I said, holy cow, my work in this arena, my work in prevention is going to stop. I can't let that happen. What do I do? So I called Director Kurlikowski, I just finally learned how to say his name after 4 years. And I said, Director, I just can't stop. Can you help me? And the next day I got a phone call from General Dean, and I thank both of you very much for including me and for putting me on the board of CADCA. I love CADCA. Let me just think, it's 8 pages of great things about CADCA, but I'm gonna talk about other things. Let me just say this, that you know, for those of you who've heard me speak before, you know that I come by this honestly. I say that in politics, there are things that you do and there are things that you are. This is something that I am. For those of you adult children of alcoholics, I am one. I thought I had understood the disease. Are you guys about to clap for that one? Did I hear applause for that one? You can't do that. As an adult child of alcoholic, I thought I understood the disease. I get it. My children are not going to have a problem with addiction. Was I wrong? And I was a sitting member of Congress when my son became addicted to prescription drugs. There's no way that could happen to me. I was a member of Congress and I understood this disease. So I became very involved and very passionate about this problem and recognized here I am as a sitting powerful member of Congress. I better do something. I better get involved. So I was invited down to CADCA and met all of you. And I was so impressed by the work that CADCA does, that the coalitions do. And I just thought, boy, we have to continue to grow this, to do our very, very best that we possibly can to take this and upscale it and take it out to America and really make a difference. You know, there's one story that I kind of wanted to share with you. It might not seem really necessarily related, but I think it's an important one, and hopefully you'll hear the message. My late husband, Sonny Bono, once told me a great story. And you probably don't even know the story, but I love it, about his life. That Sonny, before he knew Cher, those of you who are young, you have no clue what I'm talking about. Go Google it when you get home. But Sonny, long before Sonny knew Cher, Sonny wanted to be a songwriter. And he was writing songs and delivering meat. He was a butcher's apprentice. He was delivering meat along Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. And he would run into a little record label every day and sing them a song. He had a song called Coco Joe about a little monkey. He had all sorts of big hits like that. And, but one day he literally walked into this record label. He had nothing on, he had lots of stuff on, but he had a bloody meat apron on. And he was trying to sing a little song for the owner of this little label. As Sonny was waiting there, standing there, the owner of the label was actually yelling at a recording artist and yelling at the A&R guy because they hated this song. He said, "This is the worst song I've ever heard in my whole life." And to insult the A&R guy, he fired him, and he pointed to Sonny standing there in a bloody meat apron. He said to the guy, "You're fired, and I'm hiring him." And so Sonny got his break in music business because of that moment in his life. And this is the important part about that. The song, for those of you who are my age, that's 50 and over, the song was a little song called You Send Me. It went like this. Just kidding. It was a master, and the artist was an artist named Sam Cooke. Now, so Sonny Bono got his break because Sam Cooke was fired. And the reason I'm saying this to you is because that success in life happens when luck and preparedness meet. That moment in life that truly can be magical, it can transform your entire life. You don't know when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, but it could happen. And the way I see CADCA is CADCA prepares all of you for a moment like that in life, that you will have that quick little moment where you're going to meet somebody and your life might change. I think the difference between your story and Sonny's story is that Sonny's life was transformed for himself and his career, but your lives and all of our lives, hopefully, will have that magical moment where we get to meet somebody and say, for the rest of our life, that magical moment, I helped save somebody else's life. And you never know. You know, imagine that moment, imagine that feeling for the rest of your life, that you can say to yourself, I saved somebody's life or I impacted somebody's life. So that's what CADCA can do. It can build that foundation for you. When somebody walks up to you and says, I need help, you can deliver it. So in a long-winded, weird way, that's how I see CADCA. You know, secondly, I want to say this about my experiences in this wonderful world of recovery and prevention, that I have met so many parents who have lost a child to a drug overdose death. I've met far too many parents. I'm sure a number of you have. I know Director Kurlikowski has met with these parents too. But they get this passion. They want to get involved. They want to save lives. They want to start their own organization. They want to start a charity. They're going to save people too. But they all start with this passion and try to reinvent the wheel. I think CADCA is the perfect tie that we can all unite behind, that brings us together to truly ignite, take their energy and equal their passion and turn it into great success that changes lives. So that is what CADCA is to me. So I just wanted to say to all of you, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it's somebody like you, it's actually Steve and the Partnership for Drug-Free America, or drugfree.org, who actually were that moment of that spark in my life. But I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, for somebody who's benefited for the work that you do. Please continue to do it. It is so great you're here. It's so great you're here in Washington, D.C. Lawmakers don't know about the disease of addiction until it happens either to them or to their constituents. And when they turn to you and ask you for your help to say, how do we help our constituents? You will be ready to help them and to explain to them the disease of addiction and what we need to do to both prevent it and to treat it. So thank you again for being here in Washington. I hope to see you in Austin. By the way, General Dean, the Army did a really good job of making you a really nice guy. I love working with you. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you. Well done. Well done.